Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of our RPG series. In today's episode, we're going to be dealing with the details page of our inventory. So we're carrying on with our inventory, then we're going to be dealing with the details. So looking at them and then doing something with that inventory once you have it. So yeah. I've been seeing the comments or the requests that are being made, and I've written a number of them down. So we're going to be going with them with the way I got them. So we are going to first finish up the inventory, then do some archery stuff, then we'll do some. I've seen there's a comment about saving using JSON. We're going to also look into doing that as well, but for now let's finish up what we've already started. Okay, so in today's episode we are going to be dealing with a lot of UI. So let's come into our player menu, space order. In here, let's turn this player menu panel on. That with our inventory and everything. So let's come here and create an empty. Then let's look at the transform there. Hold alternate, scale it up, maybe not all the way. Let's bring it in and like that, then like that, then like that. All right, so this is we're going to call this our details folder or details screen. And then inside our details screen, we're going to add a UI raw image. Then let's scale it up. So once we do that, we're going to give it a texture. So I'm going to go to our GUI, sliced images, then we're going to go to I've already used this one. I don't want to use the same thing twice. That'll be too repetitive. Alright, let's use this one. Yeah, let's use that one. Okay, so we're gonna have that as our background. So let's call this background. Now in the background, let's create a UI raw image, and then we're gonna go to the transform again, and then we're gonna hold alternate, and then to the top we take it like that. Then I'm gonna just make it a bit bigger. Then I'm gonna give it, maybe bring it inward a bit. Bring it down a bit so that it's just inside our background like that. Perfect. We could give it its own image, so maybe even this, and we could say change the background and give it a more darkish tone. Then we could just play around to get the look you're looking for. If we see that isn't working the way we want it to work, we could try and find something else, but I'm gonna remove this because I don't like that. So we're gonna say none. All right, then I'm gonna give it just a darkish tint, but I want it to be a very big contrast between the two. So this one I'm gonna make it bright. Okay. Actually, I think I could go with this inner window. Yeah, let's go with that. I prefer that because there's a big distinct difference between the background and the inner window. So we're gonna call this top BG. Let's call it BG for background. Then inside the top BG, we've got a few things we want to do. So we're first going to create an empty game object in here, and then just scale it up and add a horizontal layout group. Then on one side of this, we're gonna add a UI image. Then we're just going to scale it to that side. So let's see, that's not happening the way I want it to happen. What I actually want is for us to scale it up like that. Maybe even bring it in, bring it like that. Then let's see, we'll give it some padding to the left and some padding from the top so that it's inside as well, like that. Then this, we're going to call it the item icon. Okay. Then we're gonna add another empty game object, which we're going to scale up to where the icon image ends and bring it like that. All right. So let's call this top content. Now on the second game object, we're going to call this the name container. Then we're going to add a vertical layout group to this one. All right. Then in there, we're going to add our first UI text mesh pro text. And we're just going to center it. And then we're going to call this the item name. Then we're going to create another UI text mesh pro and call this the item level. And then we're going to add a third one. So create UI text, and then we're going to say item class. So this is the item name is obviously the item name. Then the item level is the level. The class is whether it's a weapon, whether it's a consumable, and all that. All right. So now I've managed to bring in the fonts that we had the problem with our fonts. If you remember, these fonts had nothing, but that's because we're importing them wrongly. So let's import them correctly. Let's do this. Text Mesh Pro font asset creator. Make sure that this part is ANSI selected, because I think we were using something different. Then drag in the font and then create from Atlas. And what you will notice that now we're going to have some actual working fonts. Okay, so you can see we've brought in 73 of 299 and 26 characters are missing, but that's fine. We know that this is the embossed Jeremical, and then we're going to replace the old one that we had created, which didn't have anything. Then we're going to do the same for all the others. So the floated one as well. Create font asset. All right, I'm going to save it as that one. Replace it. We give it some time to compile itself. Then we're gonna bring in the plane. Okay, we're also going to save it as the plane. We also have the shadowed. So we've got a lot of Jamaica fonts in here. So let's just, I'm gonna do this quickly and then get back to you guys when I'm done with all of the fonts. Okay, so now I've brought in all the fonts. I'm going to select all of our name texts. And maybe we're gonna go with this unique font. Okay. So there we go with our fonts. So we can just stretch this out somewhere here maybe. Let me see, somewhere here. Okay, let's just undo everything. Select all the three. First up to there. Then we're gonna make them start from that side. Okay. So let me just change the text. I'll say item name. Then we're gonna say level 80. And then class, we're gonna say consumable. Okay. That's it. Then we're going to close the name container, close the top content, and then close the top background. Then we're going back to the background. We're going to create a new empty game object, and then we're going to call this the main content. So think of this like HTML. Okay. Let's scale this up to the top content, and then we're going to scale this down to somewhere there. We're going to create a UI image in there because we need the background, so we're going to call this main BG. Then we're just going to scale it up all the way. So we could also use the spacer here. So let's see how this will look first. Let's go to the top BG, get this guy into the main. And then we're just going to put that guy there. Or maybe not. Maybe we might even go with him. Or him. Then we could just go with a darker tone, like that. Okay. Then inside here, I'm going to create a text. Then I'm going to move this text to the top like that. We're going to give it a font. So we're going to go assets, art, fonts. Let me see what font we're going to give it. Now that's too... let's see. Okay, let's use the same one. Let's use the same one. I'm gonna bring it. So this will be, we're gonna bring it somewhere like that. Then we're gonna say it's gonna be okay, let's go with this. Yeah. So this is gonna be the description text. Because remember, our items do have descriptions. Then let's drag our main all the way down. Why am I unable to drag it down? Main content. Okay, now we're going to close our main BG. Actually, we're not going to close. We're going to create another empty, but this time it's going to go to the bottom of the main. So like that, I'm going to bring it up. Then we're going to add a horizontal layout group to this one. So this one, we're going to call it the button group, like that. So we're going to create 3 buttons. Let's create a first one. There we go. Then let's scale it up. Just gonna make it something like that. Going to go to the button group, give it a padding from the top to go inward to somewhere there. Then from the left as well, maybe just a little bit like that. So we're going to come to this text here and we're going to give it the very font, same font. Maybe change the size to 50. Then we're going to call this equip. So this will be equip/use. The text, well, the button, we're going to call it the equip /use button. So if it's a weapon, want to equip it. If it's a consumable, want to use it, and so on and so forth. Then we're going to create 2 more buttons. So we're going to create 1 more there and 1 more there. Then the first one is going to be the sell. So you can sell the item, and we're going to change that to sell. Then the final button is going to be to send to. So this will be send to bag, or let's say bag the item. So when you put it in the bag, it will be moved from the inventory and free up space in the inventory. And then we'll call this move to bag. So right now our buttons are a bit too big. So let's just scale them down so that they match that. That's perfect. Go to our button group and then we'll control the width and the, maybe not the height. Let's bring them, let's see, 0. Let's select the 3 buttons. We've given them the wrong height. We just wanted to control the width. So let's bring them up somewhere there. Nice. So now let's come to the equip button. We're going to give it a bit of some effects. So sprites. I want something different. Buttons. Yeah, we're gonna use these. So let's come right there, slap that onto the equip. Some reason, image type. For some reason, it's just scaled our button up. We're gonna go to the cell, slap that, and we're going to the move bug, slap that, so that they are all the same. Nice. We're gonna come there, the equip, we're gonna change its color to green. The cell, we're gonna change its color to an let's see. All right, let's leave its color as that. And then for the bag, what color can we give the bag? I need it to be something different. Okay, this will not work because these buttons already have colors on them. Okay, so this won't work because these buttons already have colors. So let's go with different style of button. Oh, I wish we could find more button images, but we do not really have a lot of them, do we? We do not really have a lot of them. This is gonna be interesting because we've got this button. Let's try and, instead of using the actual solid button, let's try and go with that. And then for this guy, let's go with a reddish, just a normal red like that. Then let's see. Actually, we'll go with the third one because this one looks a bit hazy. So this is pressed. All right, we'll go with that. The red still shows. We'll just change the text colors. So for the text colors for all of them, we're gonna go with white. Equip. Then we're gonna go to the cell button, change the text color to white. Then we're gonna go to the move to bag button, change the color to white. So with those three buttons selected, we're going to go to the button. Then we're going to change the transition from color tint to swap. So for the highlighted sprite, we'll slap the hover, and then for the pressed, we'll put the pressed, and then for the selected sprite, we'll leave none, and for the disabled, we'll leave none. Okay, so that's our dialogue done there, our details dialogue done. It's just now about feeding it information from our item. So how are we going to do that? We're going to go to the details screen, turn it off. So the way we're going to do this is that we're going to create a script. Let's go to our player controls, then inventory. We're going to create a script here, and we're going to call this details UI. Come to details script. I'm going to put that there. Okay, I want to drag that there. There we go. So we have the script compiled and they are attached. We're going to go to it. So we're going to create a few variables here. So we're going to create the header. Then we're going to put open close parentheses, and then we're going to give our header a title. We're going to call this the details variables. We're going to have a public text mesh Pro UGUI. We're going to call this the item name. Then we're just going to copy this a few times. So we've got item name, we've got item level, we've got description. So we're going to come here, item, and also have item class. So we're going to come here and say item name, item level. We're going to go to item class, then item description. Then we're going to have the public image, not image conversion, but actual just image. Then we're going to call this one the item icon. Then we're also going to have the public. Let's copy the last description, bring it under this. This will be the main button text. So remember that button that I said that we want to be able to change its text based on what item it is. Is it a weapon? Is it a consumable? Is it whatever? We want to be able to do that. So we're going to remove the void start and update. No, we're going to leave the start. We're going to leave the start, but we don't need the update. We're also going to now have a public. So this is public inventory slot, the slot. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's do that on the other side. Let's do that on the other side. For now, let's leave this as it is. Leave that as it is. Go back to Unity. Let all that compile. Then let's give this its items. So when we go into the top content, the icon, we're going to slap that there. Then the name container, we've got the item name, item level, item class. Then inside the main, we've got the description. Then inside the buttons, we've got our equip use button. So we're going to slap that text there. Now with that done, let's go where we are setting up an inventory slot. So right here, so we've got clear slot, but we don't have anything inside slot click. So here we're going to come here and say, let's put another header. Then let's say details variables. We're going to have just one, but in case we want to add some more, we're going to say public detail if I can type UI details, right? Then on the on click, we're going to come here and say if current item is not equal to null. So let's actually make this a game object, not details, but game object details screen. Okay. So if current item is not equal to null, we're going to say details screen. So we're going to say details screen dot set active true. But before that, we're going to then say the current item. Well, okay, we're going to say the details screen dot. Yeah, let's say details screen dot get component. The component we're going to be getting is the details UI. Then we're going to say dot. What do we want from the details UI? We want the item icon. This is going to be equal to the icon image dot sprite. Okay, so the item icon dot sprite is equal to item image dot sprite. Then let's come over there, do the same for the dot item name. Is gonna be equal to the current item dot item name. So let's see, item name dot text, because remember we're using Text Mesh Pro, so we have to specify that it's a text that we're trying to access. So let's see, what have I made the mistake? Item name dot text. Then we're going to have the level. So let's copy this. And then we're going to call item level dot text, which is going to be equal to, we're going to say current item dot item level. So the item level is an integer, so we have to remember that. So let's say dot to string. So because we want to change that integer into a string so that we can be able to place it into the text. But before that, we're going to go to the beginning and say dollar open quotation marks, put the whole item level thing into the quotation marks. But then we're going to say level, then semicolon. Then you're going to open your curly brackets up to the end of the toString and close your curly brackets there. Okay, so that's what we're going to go with right there. That's our level. Then we are also going to have the details, then item, is it description? So item description dot text is going to be equal to the current item dot item description. Then we're going to come and say the details screen one more time dot the item description dot text. We're going to change its font size. So we're going to say the item description dot font size. Font size we're going to say is equal to 24. Then we're now going to try, before we actually activate it, we've got to do something else, because remember the item button has to change its text depending on what type of item it is. So we're going to use a switch statement here so that we can just do it once. We're going to say switch. What are we switching on? We're going to switch on current item dot the item type. We're going to open and close curly brackets. Then we're going to say the first case. So the case one is item type item.weapon, then semicolon. If it's that, we're going to now say the the details screen. I'm going to copy that, put it there. Instead of the item description or whatever it is, we're going to now look for the button. So we're going to say our main button text, then dot text is going to be equal to equip. And then we're going to break out of that. Then we're going to copy that 2 more times. So let's copy that 2 more times. 1 and 2. And then so if it's not a weapon, what is it? Is it a craftable? If it's a craftable, we're going to now say craft, because there are some things that you can craft. And then is it a consumable? If it's a consumable, we're going to say use. And then once everything is done like that, then we're going to set it active to true. Okay, let's save that. And then let's go to Unity and see if what we've done will work. So we're going to go to our player. Under the player controller, we've got the inventory management, which now should, or that's the inventory management, or that's the item slot, or that's the inventory slot. Okay, so let's go to our items, then slot, that slot there. If you look at the script that we set there, it has got the details screen. So what we're going to do is bring the slot into the world. Let's see, where does our slot go? Our slot goes to the, let's just close some of these things here, like the player menu. Actually, the slot goes into our inventory. So let's drag it in there. There we go. That's our slot. Then the detail screen, let's make it a child of the slot, like that. So if we were to turn on the detail screen, it comes on top of the slot like that. All right, that's what we want. Then we're going to get our slot and then give the detail screen as the extra variable. We're going to delete the slot that we had saved as a prefab. Just delete that. Then this slot will now turn red, showing that it can't be found, but we'll then create a prefab from it. Then we're going to delete it. So we have our slot which contains our details, and everything is fine now. So we can then close everything. So the player menus, we're going to close that. Then we're going to try this out. So if we hit play now and we collect our item here, so if we run to it and interact, we've collected it. When we hit I, let me see. Why aren't we seeing our player menu come up? Let's turn it on manually. All right. And then when we click on it, you can see there it is. It's working the way we want it to work. So we've got the longbow, level 1, consumable. So we've given it a wrong item type. Let's go to our items. The weapons, longbow is of type, it's of type weapon. But when we give it the, let me see. Oh, we forgot to actually set up the item class. All right, let's give it something here. Let's select that, put that there. Then we're going to say item class.text is going to be equal to the current item, dot item type dot to string. So we're going to change the item type to string, and then that's it. So now if we have set everything up nicely, we should be able to see that work. For some reason, I'm not able to open my inventory menu. So inventory manager, let's go to the player controller. Don't we have inventory menu? We've got the background panel. All right, that's what we made a mistake. Okay, so the background panel is not supposed to go off. All right, perfect. Now let's hit play. We move to the item, we pick it up. Okay, then when we hit I, there we go, we have our item. Then when we click on the button, it brings us all the information. So currently our dialogue is behind our buttons. So because behind our buttons, because of the fact that our item goes behind them, we're gonna have to change something. We run up to the item, we interact with it, then hit I to open our inventory. There's our longbow, and then there's our description. But what we are seeing here is that our description is a bit small. Why is that? That's because we're editing it somewhere else. Let's set it up correctly. So let's open the player background, then in the inventory let's slap that. Then let's open up our details screen so you see what will happen. You can see what has happened to our details. So let's just scale everything up again. The main especially, let's bring it there and there and down there. But then we've got that text. So the main background, the description text, let's bring it down like that, and then scale it up. It will go all the way up to the button somewhere there. So in case you've got a long description, then yeah, that is that. We'll turn that off, and we'll close that, delete our inventory item, put that one, delete it from the game so that we can be able to instantiate it later. Turn off our background panel, then we hit play again. So let's run up to this thing, interact with it. Then let's hit I. Here is our item, click on it, and there we go. We've got a longbow, level 1, weapon, and the description. So you can add more to the description, and the buttons, you can see what happens to them when you highlight them. There we go. So everything is working the way we want. But now what we want to do is, if it's a weapon and then we equip it, something must happen to it. So that's what we're going to be looking at next time. But so far what we've decided to do in this episode is working the way we want it to work. You can make your description, instead of saying the description of the item goes here, you can just add a detailed description to your item to give the player information about that item. Alright, so if you enjoyed this episode, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're going to be getting into equipping our weapons. Then we're going to create one consumable item and one craftable item. Then we're going to look at saving our inventory, and then we're going to be done with the inventory system. All right, I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for all the support that you've shown so far. Bye bye.